LTO, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Just Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Jeff Bagel Run.
Welcome to the Weekly Run. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Aaron.
What's hot at the Bagel Run this week is Bagel Madness is finally wrapped up. We have a champion, Aaron.
We made it, and I think just like last year, we've set a precedent of underdog champions. Clearly, we don't know what's supposed to happen because
Nobody
this is
knows.
the second year in a row that
Nobody
a
knows.
completely random, seemingly random bagel has won. The underdog, man. Everybody likes a good underdog story.
The underdog victor of the Bagel Madness Tournament of Bagels of the Day champion is Banana Bread.
Banana bread.
Banana bread. Banana
Bracket buster.
bread. Huge bracket buster.
It's one of our lowest pick champions out of all. We dug through all the stats, and it was one of the most, or I guess the least picked final champion. I mean, there was a bunch of people that had it, so I won't say it wasn't. It has its believers, but totally unexpected.
So let's talk about some of those numbers because you shared them with Katrina and me, and we know we've had this conversation previously. We had over 8,800 brackets filled out, like 8,862 or something like that, right? And so a lot of brackets filled out. As we moved into the final, you pulled some data on who had picked certain winners. And I think garlic bread was the competitor to banana bread. And garlic bread had 1,142 people selected it to win.
Correct. Garlic bread was a favorite across the favorites. It was in that sort of tier of like the top 4 or 5 favorites to win. So that one, it was kind of like the champion, the expected number 1 seed against the upstart. And so what was even crazier about that is not only one of the highest picked champion contenders against one of the lowest, but going into the bracket of the final, we still had 3 perfect brackets. And when we were pulling the numbers, we were so excited that somebody might actually have a perfect bracket. But then everybody had garlic bread as the champion for those perfect brackets. We're like, oh man, this is an all or nothing, man. Like somebody's only, it could be a final bust for everybody. And it was.
And it was. Because only 440 something people picked banana bread to win. So we had 3 perfect brackets going into the final round with 3 perfect brackets all selecting garlic bread to win. We did some back of the napkin ChatGPT math that said that's like a 1 in 32,000 chance to have picked a 16-team perfect bracket. It's pretty.
3 people.
And 3 people did it.
We're a banana bread away. And what's funny is we were tracking that through the different rounds. And so before the semis, there was 8 people that had perfect brackets. And so it really kind of, whittled down as we went based on again banana bread just continuing to defy all expectations. So 440 something people, they knew the secret. They knew it was going to happen. And another interesting stat on that, the championship match of banana bread, they had the most bagels sold in any single match in the entire tournament. Was the championship for banana bread. Crazy.
Well, banana bread is the champion and will remain champion for the next year. And
they have 12 months of the right.
12 months of the right to carry the trophy around, and we'll see if we make it again this year.
I was gonna say.
I think I know the guy who has control of what bagel of the day selection is offered, so I might. We'll see if we.
I mean, honestly, the fact that you don't have a perfect bracket, that speaks to both the unpredictability of it and the fact that we're genuinely doing this honestly. This isn't like a marketing scam.
Yeah, my bracket busted so fast.
If this were a marketing scam, this is not how it would end.
No, I'd have been like, look at me, I'm perfect. Not at all.
Exactly.
So that wrapped up, and it led us right into our next promotional period, which is our Spring LTO peach and pimento program. I mean, the peach side is fun. I love it. It's called Just Peachy, and it's fantastic. It's a peach cream cheese with 3 peach drinks. We have peach cobbler latte, we have a peach dirty soda, and we are featuring our peach berry iced tea. And then pimento cream cheese. Last year, pimento cream cheese stood on its own the whole spring, and pimento cream cheese now has this sweeter counterpart.
Pimento is another annual event that just needs to happen. I'm so glad that this has become a thing. My only problem is that we don't sell it by the pint, so I can just put it in the fridge because that's where that spread deserves to live. I mean, it's delicious on bagels, but I feel like limiting it to just bagels is it's unfair to the spread. It is so good. It is just a crackers, dip for like carrots and stuff like it's awesome.
I concur.
It's
This spread should be taken out of its Just Bagel Run container and placed into one of those fancy cups in the center of a beautiful cracker spread.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you're watching
This
the
is
Masters this weekend and you've got a little got some people over or you just built your own little charcuterie board just for funsies, like pimento cream
spreads
cheese need
board. What is
yeah,
that? They do the spreads boards now or the
yeah,
butter boards.
pimento cream cheese needs to be part of your life.
We need to normalize pimento boards of
Yeah.
just Jeff's pimento spread.
Well, the part of once we normalize it, it goes away. By by May
Uh,
10th, I think is the
next
last
year.
May 10th
Next
is
year.
the last day of the LTO. So I know it's
Get it while it's
short-lived. Just
get it
got to
while it's
get it
good.
while you
Listen,
can.
I want it to show up on public shelves like next to Chick-fil-A sauce and other restaurant brand come to grocery store ingredients. That's what I want. I want to buy a
One
pint of it.
one can dream. One can
you
dream.
know, I like it. It's good. If it's not clear, I like it.
This week, we also introduced a new bagel of the day. We're celebrating the Masters Week at Just Bagel Run this week because we have an incredibly stacked lineup for Bagel of the Day with a brand new one, the Cheddar Bacon Ranch. A
Mm, winner.
phenomenal bagel. I had that bagel this week, half of it with peach cream cheese and half of it with the pimento.
So why does the sweet cream cheese work? Like that to me that sounds like it shouldn't work. Why does it work?
Yeah, you putting cheese with peach is kinda like cheddar cheese and peach
Yeah.
together shouldn't work. I think it's the sweet and savory combination. You get a little bit of the saltiness up front, and then that sweetness of the citrus comes through on the back. It's really nice. I enjoyed that half, hot take, more than the pimento half.
Wow. That's hot
Yeah,
take.
I know. I know, I can't believe I actually said that out loud. The pimento is very good, and it goes well with that type of bagel, but the peach just really, I don't know, it outshined.
That's I the Our spread selection, I've been surprised more often than not by some of those, I guess I'll say non-traditional spreads.
Yeah.
I go in there and I'm always so drawn, like roasted jalapeno, I love the garden vegetable, I love. It's so easy to go to those consistently. The hot sauce one is really good. Then when like somebody give me cannoli, the cannoli spread, I'm like, God, this is really good. Like, why don't I get this more often? You got to
Yeah,
branch out, Jeff. You got to branch out from your core. That's the
I
problem.
I do the same thing, Aaron. I'm a roasted jalapeno salt bagel
Ugh,
a lot of
roasted jalapeno
times.
is so good.
I do a salt bagel with a, little bit of brown sugar cinnamon, so I kinda sometimes stick to those core spreads, but when we get these fun LTOs, I like to mix it up. We posted a video earlier in the week of me adding the peach cream cheese to the cheddar bacon ranch, and one of our franchisees, JD up in Chicago, sent me a message. He goes, "You're wild."
You're crazy, man. You're
And
crazy.
I was like, "Dude, you need to try it on Wednesday and get back to me." And I got a text message and he sent it back to me. He goes, "Alright, that was pretty good." That was the whole message. He goes, "Alright, that was pretty good." And then he thought, "Maybe I should start like he said, "a wacky Wednesday." And so me coming up together with some wild pairings, I send it out to the franchisees and then I have them record their responses to trying it.
Ooh, I like that.
That's what I said. I was like, "Love this idea. We're gonna make this happen."
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because
Because
he was shocked by it. He was shocked by how delicious it was.
that's actually the thing that I do like to do is when I've got time, like I go into the store and I always ask the front of house person, like, what's your preferred, like especially with a BOD, I'm like, what do you like with it? And then you get these interesting because they experiment with it, right? They're eating tons of bagels. They're eating a bagel a day almost,
All the time.
So yeah, so they really experiment. I find that they experiment with these things, and that's when I've been like, hey, you they'll say something like, "Oh, I'm eating these pizza bagels, but I always use garlic butter instead of a spread because then it melts and it makes it taste more like a pizza." And I'm like, "That's genius." And then you try it, it's things I would never try. And then you try it and it's great. So it's kind of like a wine pairing. You gotta ask.
Yes.
You have to ask the bagel sommelier at the front, like, how should I approach this?
I should, I should, like, rent a tux and get, like,
Yes.
the napkin over my arm, and I could do a whole bit of content around bagel
Yes.
pairings. That would be that would be so fun.
I So this is we're riffing on this, but this is gonna be great. I think you need to introduce a character, the bagel sommelier, and we can get you a little fake mustache,
Oh, yeah.
and it's not even you. It's just content as the bagel sommelier.
I
I'm
love this.
telling you,
There's this I think there's
telling you.
something here. This could actually we obviously we launched the pod this year. You and me are doing the podcast. We're branching out on our content reach. I'm a big believer in live shopping as well, but we don't have a product that we can sell live. Like, we just don't. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I can't be like, "Check out this merch, like, buy it now." It's like, kinda like live shopping on
Yeah.
the internet is essentially what QVC was for us growing up, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
I believe that I wanna present live shopping as a weekly show. So I'm working through this idea of live shopping as, like, a
Yeah.
weekly show, like a 6:45 on Sunday night, right before the bagel of the day drop. And if you watch the show, I'll, like, leak the flavors ahead of
You
time,
just
we'll
go through
talk
them.
about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it, and then maybe, like, I don't know, put an offer out or something to get, like, a discount on the bagel. I don't know how I haven't got it all worked out yet, but, like, I think it's, like, a 6:45 to, like, 7:05
I
show. It's,
love
like,
it.
20 minutes every Sunday night, we go live talking about the bagel of the day.
I'm telling
The
you,
pa
bagel sommelier.
cream cheese pairings, yeah, so, like, it ties together. I mean, maybe the character is, like, a tuxedo-wearing,
Oh,
mustache-having,
tuxedo. Yes.
um,
Yes. Yes. Listen, I'll get AI image creation on this immediately.
I
I'll show you exactly what you need.
oh, please don't. The I'm already starting I maybe this isn't the place to talk about this. We had 3 negative comments about some AI usage in our most recent, uh,
Oh,
Pe Ju
really?
the Just Peachy yeah, so the Just Peachy, um, promotional photographs have pictures of real coffees and real cream cheese cup, like, and then we inserted it into a background, like, or we inserted a background into the picture.
Yeah,
Um,
standard.
it and yeah, and, like, there were, like, a few comments on the internet that were like, "Oh, no, Jeff, why are you using AI?" I was like, "The amount of, like, real stuff we shoot is crazy." So, I think, we're gonna rectify that. We're gonna do, like, a behind the scenes of our whole holiday photo shoot that we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, and so we'll get,
I
like,
was gonna
a
say,
and I think I'm gonna have Corey record it, like, documentary style while so we'll do the photo shoot, and then we'll do the documentary of the photo shoot. So we'll have it, like, horizontally shot for YouTube, we'll have it vertically shot for TikTok and Reels, and we'll put some content out talking about how our bagels are not AI, they are the realest bagels out there.
I was gonna say I have so many days in office where I'm literally sitting there waiting for the photo shoot food to be done with their session
So
so
you
I can
can
eat
eat
it.
it. Yeah, I know, I know,
It's literally the best day
I
whenever
know.
there's a photo shoot going on
It's
because
okay.
there's gonna be all these extra bagels.
There's
I don't have Although I will
enhancements.
say,
Yeah.
Jeff, it's on you and Corey. It's totally your fault for not driving the bagels to a peach orchard and taking that photo. That's on you, because there's peach orchards everywhere available for photo shoots.
I mean, the peach state is right below us here in Florida. Georgia's the peach state. Did you know that?
I s I mean, I didn't know they were below us.
Are they below? We're right below them. No, they're above us. I guess they're north of us. Yeah, so we're right there. We could have driven up. Although, while they are the peach state, they actually don't produce as many peaches as they used to. They actually produce more onions now.
That
A
is
totally random
shocking.
fact. I know, it is
That
actually a
is
totally
unknown.
random fact. That might get edited out because that's nonsense. Yeah. Vidalia onion. They produce more onions than like any other state. It's crazy. I digress, Aaron. Okay, so peach and pimento is
This is
happening.
what you get for podcasting out of the out of your car.
I know. It was just too noisy inside. I had to find a quiet spot, so I'm in the car. Um, at least there's not the sound of coffee being roasted in the background. It was just too loud in there.
That's true.
Too loud.
In 2 weeks, we'll be casting from live from
Courtside.
Phoenix.
Courtside in Phoenix, yeah.
Course,
Yeah,
course.
we will be courtside and do you have a paddle? Do I need to get you a paddle?
No, don't they provide paddles?
No. No, no, no. It's a very personal item. I'll bring you a paddle, don't worry. You don't like
So they
show up.
will provide it.
This isn't like
It's like
it's not like the bowling alley where you can like rent shoes and a paddle and borrow someone's ball. Like, no.
so
No. There'll
so
be
they expect
balls
everybody. They're gonna expect everybody to come with paddles, like actually travel with
with their
paddles.
paddle.
Is
Yeah.
what you think?
Aaron, we are the most novice group. You and I, again, we've been talking about this as if it's like it's a thing. This might not even be a thing. It might just be like we might just show up there and they're like, "Go play, have fun," like, and we just like fool around for an
Exactly.
hour on the court. We have this in our mind set up as like this is a tournament.
Oh my
This is something to be
god.
won. There will be a prize at the end. Yeah. So I will bring you a paddle. I'll bring you
Excellent.
a paddle. Yeah.
Excellent. You still owe me that YouTube video for how to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send you the YouTube video on the rules so you don't go in the kitchen.
I
I actually think there is such a great opportunity for Jeff's Bagel Run and like pickleball. It's endless. Like, there's a whole
just showed
section
you that.
on the court called the kitchen that you're not allowed to go in. There's so
Yeah.
much things like boil, bake, dink. Like, let's go. It's gonna be, yeah, this is gonna be great.
This has
It's gonna
clearly
be
been
great.
on your mind.
No, I've been thinking about it. Pickleball's on my mind. It's gonna be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Arizona in 2 weeks. Next week we open
Me too.
Nolensville, Tennessee, which is just outside of Nashville. Excited about that. I wanted to talk about something that has been on my mind this week, and it started from the pod last week, Aaron, because we had this conversation around coffee, and Glenn brought up the idea of like a ritual, and coffee being a morning
Yeah.
ritual, and so it got me thinking a lot about how we, as a breakfast day part QSR operator, are a part of people's rituals. We're a part of their morning routine. We're a part of the thing that gets their day started. And I just started thinking about how valuable that is.
It's true.
It has so much
It's true.
impact in the way someone's day starts. I feel like it's something that gives us a competitive advantage. And I don't know, I've just been having a lot of thought processes around like how hospitality shows up in the morning. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And I don't know. I just thought it would be a fun conversation for us today as a way to wrap up the pod and go into the weekend with this idea of like hospitality in the morning and how that makes people feel and what's different about it at JBR.
Well, let me ask you this question. Is the morning routine the most sacred for most people? I think it is. Like, I think about afternoon routines, lunch routines, maybe dinner. I feel like the way you sort of start your day, and it could be a good routine or a bad routine. I mean, I've had stretches where like my morning routine is frantic and bad. But I feel like the one that people rely on the most is the morning routine, which is kind of something crazy I hadn't thought about until you just said that.
It's a really good observation. I do think that the morning routine is probably the one that is most structured in the majority of people's lives. I have two young kids still. You
Yeah.
know, Emily just turned 11. Lucas is 8. We have a evening routine, like a bedtime routine, but I know that's gonna fizzle away. Like, that bedtime routine
Yes.
isn't kind of the morning routine, though, that's, like, ritualistic. Breakfast at 7 a.m., they're having pancakes or eggs or whatever, they're getting dressed at 7:30, backpacks and lunches are packed by 7:45. Like, there is a programmatic process to our morning routine, especially when they're in school, and so I think most people live that way. They're like, "I set my alarm for this time, I get up, I go do this, I do this thing, I brush my teeth," whatever, and that is to be a part of that is special.
I agree, and I think it's the most likely routine to be sort of autopilot because the day's starting, your brain's getting going, stuff like that. So like you said, it's sort of a to be a part of that, there's a bit of a responsibility there. Because I know that if something happens in that first hour or so of the day, it's hard to recover the day at that point. You're like, "Ah, whole day's shot." So it's like if you go in to grab breakfast, you're grabbing your coffee, coffee's wrong, your food's wrong, or you wait too long and you miss your schedule's off, like, that sucks. But on the flip side, if everything goes right and you're sipping your coffee, you're on your way to work, you're 5 minutes ahead of schedule, full belly, like, life is great. You're ready
Yeah.
to tackle the day. It's funny how much it influences sort of your emotional state,
Oh, 100%.
as
And that
as simple as it is.
that isn't something we measure. That's not on any one of your dashboards.
No, no, I wouldn't know where to start.
You can't even I mean, you could measure it in, I guess, reviews. If someone wrote a Google review, like someone who writes a 5-star review, we don't know if they had a positive, um, impact to their morning routine or their morning ritual. But if someone maybe added some narrative to that review and was like, "I just love having Just Bagel Run as a part of my morning routine. It's always so quick and easy, and the team is so friendly, and they get my day started right." Like, you could
That's
quantify
clear.
that. That's
Yeah.
clear. Yeah, but nobody writes that. I read all the reviews. Nobody I mean, what
I
we've
wish.
got thousands of reviews across all the stores, right? And, like, you get one that sounds like that, you know? So,
Yeah.
no one I don't even think people think about the businesses that they frequent in the morning as impacting their routine until it negatively impacts their routine.
Well, as an operator, let me ask you this. So put on your store hat, right? So if you're in store and you're thinking through just clean operations and how you want everything to go, and knowing that such a big bulk, especially on weekdays, such a big bulk of our business is like 8:30 to 9:30. Like how do you measure it in store? How do you like just through observation, through training, like how do you make sure that like, hey, we got to crush this hour, guys, because if we do, we really provide a lot of great service for customers. So how do
Yeah.
you how do you measure that in store as an
I
operator?
think I measure it when I'm in the store based on the sound of the interaction that I hear taking place.
So right at the front register. All starts
Just
there.
the register, the entry into the building. "Good morning, welcome in. Hey, Aaron, it's great to see you again. Cinnamon vanilla latte?" Or, "Hey, welcome in. How are you today? Have you been to Just Bagel Run?" Like, what is that? Do they identify
Yeah.
them as a regular? Do they know their items that they like to order if they're identified as a regular? Is the conversation genuine? Because I think it's really easy to have a script that you read
Yeah.
and, you know, does it feel real? Does it feel authentic? That's a way that I measure it. I also think breaking out of all of those normal business rhythms and identifying when someone's having a moment and they need that, like, support.
Yeah.
Because often I think we are, especially in the early morning hours, like the 6:30 to 9 AM, I think that we are sometimes the first human contact that people
Oh,
have had
interesting.
that day.
Like rolled out of bed, hopped in the car,
Like,
took a shower,
rolled out
hopped
of
in the
bed,
car.
took a yep, did all my things at the house, the apartment, the townhouse, whatever, swing through Jeff's, and the first person I see is, JBR staff member. And, you know, if you were running late that morning and you spilled something on, you're whatever, I don't know. Like, if your day has gone off the rails and you're sort of spiraling, you know, do we
We've all been
identify
there.
that? Yeah, we've all been there. Like, do we identify that as an employee? Do we identify that as a brand and say, "How you doing, Aaron? You okay?" And when that
Yeah.
person says, "Oh, it's been a tough morning. Sorry to hear that." Maybe something as simple as "This bagel's on me," or "I got your coffee today,"
Or
um,
this one's hot.
or
Here's a hot bagel.
"Hey, here's a hot bagel. Your day's gonna get better. It can only go up from here." Like, just the right
Yeah.
words of encouragement, the right kind of frame of mind to push that interaction forward. And I don't know, I think that's how I measure it in the store. That's what
Yeah.
I'm looking for. Um, is the team paying attention to the nonverbal cues that the human in front of them is giving. Do they feel like antsy? Do they feel like we need to move them fast through the line? When someone comes in and you don't identify that they just want to get their bagel and get out, get their coffee and get out, and you're trying to have like a conversation like, oh, what do you got planned for the day? Like, that's not the time. Like, identify that this person is like, bagel, cream cheese, coffee, I got to leave.
Yeah.
Right. And so that can be as effective as understanding when it's time to slow down and engage with somebody who's having a moment. So I don't know. I think those are the things that I look for. And it's, you know, the technology that we have in the stores gives us the opportunity to be a little more human and spend a little more time on the human
Be a
stuff.
little
And
more
I think,
present. Yeah.
yeah. So I think those are the things I look for.
Well, it's interesting that you say the whole aspect of just sort of the greeting when you come in the store. Any Jeffs you walk into, you will be greeted. It's such a small thing and it's very easy to overlook, but when it's done, and you nailed it with the genuine piece. When it's done genuinely, it's funny how it can turn people around. And it's tough because on the other side you have an employee that's gotten up early and they're working and they might be tired and they may be having a day and like it's human on both sides. But when they genuinely say sort of hello, just a hello, welcome to Jeff's, whatever, like it's not really the words that matter. I'll go into stores and a lot of these stores know me. So the hellos almost become sort of tongue in cheek where they're like saying it like overly, it's overdone or whatever. But it's still fun. It still makes you feel good to just sort of be seen for 5 seconds. And it's crazy to me how something so small, when done genuine, can be so impactful. But I think that goes into what you're saying as far as when you're part of that routine, if your day starts off with a little kindness, it carries.
100%. And that's the differentiator. I think that's the mechanism that, um, I think that's the mechanism that creates loyalty, that creates repeat visits, that creates room for us to have a bad day too. Because, like
Yeah.
we're human in here. We're not perfect every day. And so,
I've heard customers ask our staff, "Hey, are you okay?" Like, when I've been
yeah,
sitting in a store for all morning, I'll
yeah.
hear somebody like, "Hey, what's up?" They're like, "Oh, it's been a long day," or "The internet went out this morning," or whatever, right? Like, it's kinda funny you build this reciprocal relationship with regulars, which I adore.
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's something I've been thinking about over the course of the last week since our conversation with Glenn. And
Why is breakfast such a part of it? Why is it breakfast? Because right, you could pump gas in the morning, you could do everything, like, why do you think breakfast? And what's a restaurant like ours role in that?
I mean, I guess unless you live in New Jersey, you don't talk to anybody when you pump your gas. You
This
know,
is true.
it's like a solitary thing. I think so much of it has to do with it is how we start the day and the effort and the energy that we carry from that moment forward sticks with us. If you start the day off on the right foot, it's a good day. You can turn your day around, but it takes a lot of emotional labor to turn that day around. It takes a lot
Yeah.
of effort. You started off this week in the morning with a slew of Slack messages. I got customers complaining that I can't log into my app, you know,
And they could and they were
and
valid
and
complaints. It
and they were
sucked.
valid complaints and they couldn't log in.
It's a
And
rough
you're
start to the
trying to
day.
figure out, did we break the app with the last update? And it's like, that's a rough start, and that's happening to you at 6:30 a.m. because customers are walking into our stores when we open the door and they're like, I couldn't order online. I'm so frustrated. And then, screenshots are flying through and I see
Yeah.
them and I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for Aaron and Burr and
Oh,
the,
yeah.
all the,
Well,
all the crew.
and I just needed to go into the store. That's a problem. I didn't then go into the store and get a bagel. Had I,
Had you just had a warm cheddar bacon, you'd have been
that's
fine.
all. That's all
That's
I
it.
needed.
That's all you needed in your life.
I'll tell you what,
Sometimes that's all you need.
I didn't get one, and I
A
felt it.
smile, a hello, even if it's
Exactly.
overly done for you because they know you,
That's
that's what
better.
you needed. That's what
Sell
you
it to me.
needed.
I just needed my O-Town crew to hook me up. Little kindness and a bagel. That would've been great.
That was all you needed. I think that's it. Kindness and a bagel, a genuine good morning, make someone feel seen. I think those things go so far, and it's hard to measure. in a dashboard. It's hard to measure through a report. You might see it in reviews. Obviously, if a store has great sales,
Probably correlates.
great conversions, great attachments, things like that, there might be some correlation, but it's really hard to measure the way someone makes you feel. And the way someone makes you feel is more likely than not the way you're going to remember them. So that's
Couldn't agree more.
my weekend rant, as I get ready to fly off to Nashville, Tennessee to open store number 34. So
I can't wait.
34.
We saw that store. Were you on that call? I can't remember that. It's a gorgeous store. You stepped out. We did a virtual walkthrough. Gorgeous store. They've got that thing humming. It looks nice. Great seating. You're gonna have fun.
They boiled and baked
store.
a ton of bagels today. They looked fantastic. I got pictures from Eric, our franchisee up there. They're delivering them to like 600 bagels to like 4 schools today.
There you go. Bagel run.
Bagel run.
A good first day.
Yep, absolutely. Spread and joy. I love it. I think that's the run, Aaron. I think that's it for the week. It's been a great conversation. Big Fresh, bring joy, build community, and I'll see you next week.
Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Just Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run.